Hello, good morning. Welcome, welcome, you guys. Hello. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late here, but I'm here now. So let's chat. Do you have your coffee or tea? I'm drinking matcha tea this morning. I am actually trying to switch from coffee to this matcha tea because I am quite loving it and I know it's really good for me. So, really good for my vibration too. All right, so as you find me and come in, I hope you'll say hello. I have lots of things to share with you today, and I'm also here to talk about my program that is beginning on Monday, Clearing Debris Through Forgiveness. So that starts on Monday morning, and I just wanted to come in and answer some questions that perhaps have come up and just explain it a little bit more so that you understand. First, though, I want to share messages with you. I sat down this morning and was like, okay, universe, what's a message coming through that we really need to hear right now? Aside from this clearing debris, but it also linked in really beautifully. Um, and I want to share that here with you. Let me just make sure here. Okay, so not seeing anybody in here yet, any comments in Facebook, but it always takes a minute to actually come online and you might be here and I can't see you. So love you guys. I'm sure. Oh, there we go. Here come the comments. Good morning, Jill. Hello. So happy you're here. Okay, so the message that was coming through was very much a message of we are going to be given opportunities as if we haven't already, but even more so coming in through this month and through the next few months very strongly is going to be the opportunity for you to be letting go of things. Now, this is going to mean different things for all of us, different opportunities, I'll say, for all of us, letting go of anything that we are attached to, letting go of old relationships, letting go of old jobs, letting go of old patterns, fears, beliefs. Any of that is coming up for us to release. And what they said was really important that we stay in surrendering, allowing ourselves to just move forward and not get even more attached when something is moving out of your life, out of your um, peripheral. Like it was almost like, okay, if it's like if your house burned down and you're standing there and you're watching your house burn down, and that's really traumatic. I know that's horrible, but can you bring yourself into a space of trust and surrender to all of the attachments that you have to your house, to all of the stuff in your house? Can you just be you and be in the being of you? So that one is really extreme, but the guidance for us coming through very strongly was when you feel yourself attaching to something, be aware of that and allow it to just let go. And yesterday in our Soulfully Aligned Creative Mystic certification group, we were having a beautiful conversation, and I posted the snippets of that conversation for you in Soulfully Aligned Women, the Facebook group, the private group, and I also posted it in an email that I sent out to everyone. And it was very much a beautiful conversation of allowing the old patterns, the old stories that you feel maybe define you, allowing those to dissolve and let go of them, because this is where we're going. This is what we need to do. We need to remember who we are as a soul rather than hanging on to the old stories that we feel have made us who we are today, because that is not who we are. We are truly, purely um, infinite, energetic beings. We are this beautiful light, life force energy that is in a body at this time, having these experiences in this life. We're not the experiences themselves. We are not our personality. We are not our body. We are our soul, the soul. And so, in order to become greater than these fears and these conditions, we need to really become more aware of what it is that, what are the stories that we're telling about ourselves, good or bad. It doesn't matter. We need to detach from them. So, when we consciously manifest in our life, our feelings are what creates. Our feelings are what draws in and magnetizes what's coming through for us. So your feelings create this magnetic field around you, and law of attraction will bring in like energy. Your thoughts are creating your feelings. So we talked about this in day one of calling in all abundance, or um, your abundance journey. Day one, we talked about your thoughts are what you think about yourself. Self concept is what is very powerful. The way you think about yourself is super powerful. Your mind is a powerful tool. And our thoughts create our feelings. So our thoughts are sending a signal out. Our feelings are attracting and magnetizing in. So you think of it, it's like a beautiful cycle. Our thoughts send the signal out, and our feelings bring in like energy. So if your thoughts are, this is hard, life is hard. If your thoughts are, I've never been lucky in my life. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I wasn't born with advantages. I'm not one of those. Then that's creating a feeling of scarcity in your body, a feeling of not worthiness, not worthy enough for more, a feeling of victimization. It's like the universe isn't didn't give me advantages like they gave this other person. And I really was there myself for a long time in my life. I was trying to overcome it. I was trying to think positive, but the underlying wound in my heart was a feeling of not being supported, a feeling of being given, a more difficult path than someone else. And there's a lot of this fear. I mean, fear is an epidemic in our world right now. That is what we're dealing with. Um, but just trying to think differently isn't going to get us there, right? Changing our mindset to shift from negativity to positivity is a beginning, but we have to bring it in. We have to bring it into our bodies and into the energetic level. So let me just double check my notes here because I have so much to say and I want to make sure I'm getting there. So our intention when we live in a soulfully aligned life is to work on healing the conditions that are blocking us from receiving. That's what we're doing. We're healing those conditions and releasing them. And it used to take a long time. 30 years when I started in this, it was, sitting in a circle and people talking about, what's holding them back, which is good, but it was perpetuating the story. The more we sat and talked about it and cried about it, the more it perpetuated those feelings of scarcity and struggle. And we're beyond that now. We don't have to do that. Awareness, yes, we need the awareness of what is holding us back. What are the fears that are still lingering in our body that are causing these feelings of scarcity and struggle and life is hard and oh, it's so much, there's so much negativity out there, you know. Those old, those patterns can look like, you know, physical discomfort in your body. It can look like illness. It can look like, you know, your living conditions aren't what you desire. You can look at like, I can't find the love of my life. There's no love out there for me. A struggle with your finances, a struggle with getting support. It seems like nobody helps me. Every time I need someone, they're not around, right? A struggle of acceptance in where you are at, a struggle in taking responsibility for how we've created in our life so far. It is not fun to look at that, but that's what we have to do, is we have to be responsible for the conditions that have come into our life, that we are like, yes, okay. So sometimes the conditions are, you're like, I didn't create this. I didn't want this in my life. Like, you know, the diagnosis of walking the path of cancer or any other health conditions. But we have to also realize that we get to consciously create, we get to change that by bringing in more love, more high power love, and healing the conditions that brought that in. You know, maybe it was a pattern in that I inherited through my family. My lineage has a weakness. My family lineage has a weakness in the lungs and in the heart. And so you have a tendency that when your immune system drops because your frequency is dropping, that is what will show up for you. It could be breast cancer. It could be anything like that. So I'm not just saying, I'm not narrowing this down and simplifying it in any way. I totally respect that that is a difficult path to walk. But what I am saying is, you hold the power within you to help yourself move through it with grace, to heal in your highest and best potential, like the path that you are meant to walk, to heal and to move forward and lighten the load for you. Lighten the load. Take away some of that scarcity and struggle. We want more freedom. We want more abundance. We want more joy. We want more peace and love in our life. But just trying to shift that through mindset takes a long time. You may have found that you've been meditating, you've been doing affirmations, working on positive mindset, but you're still struggling with strong emotional triggers that toss you like further away into like away from peace and freedom, right? That they still bubble up. And that's what I found. I had these wounds and this heartache within me that I'm not supported. There's scarcity here. I don't have as much love as the other person got when they came into the world. And even though I was trying to shift through mindset, I kept falling back into that. It kept bubbling up. It was there within me. And so there was something missing. It's not just the mindset. Mindset's the place to begin shifting because our mind is a powerful tool, but it's not the only thing. And a lot of people don't even begin there. But there's more and more people becoming aware of their mindset. And this is beautiful. We are getting there. We are getting more and more people coming on board and saying, "Hey, there's something to this frequency, this energy thing. I can notice when it's working in my life and when it's not working." And I notice that when I am feeling empowered in high frequency, high vibration, things line up for me. It's like when you first fall in love and you feel so much hope for the future and so much excitement, and your frequency raises up and everything is just lining up for you, left, right, and center. You got the new job, you get the love of your life, you know, you're having a great time. It's because your energy is what's attracting, that law of attraction, that energy, that feeling that you're emitting, like this frequency outside of you is attracting in for you. So um when we want to shift, when we want to shift into the frequency that is going to align us with everything that we desire, what I want you to know is your creative flow is a gateway into that. Creativity puts us into a frequency that is in alignment with the higher frequencies of the universe. Now, this is science, and Dr. David Hawkins has a scale of consciousness level that measured the frequency of different emotions. The lowest frequency is shame. It's sitting right at the bottom of the scale. And the highest frequency, I think, is enlightenment, if I remember correctly. Love isn't even at the top, it's a few down, but it's up there. So you get to a point in the frequency chart where it starts to rise up. And that's what we want to be doing, is bringing our frequency up through our emotions, really feeling that, bringing that in, because it is not matter that creates energy, it's energy that creates matter. So when we are wanting to create abundance in our lives, we want to bring in the feelings of these high frequency energies, the feelings of love, of bliss, of freedom, of enlightenment. These are the highest frequencies that will attract in the energy that will then come into physical form around you. But and this is what creates a more permanent change in your life. But if we have this old patterns, these old stories that are deep ingrained within us, that we are attached to, that we are still angry about, that we are still, you know, frustrated, that keep bubbling up and going, yeah, but anytime you say the word but, the words after it are really good, clear indication of the block that is keeping you from moving forward. It's like, well, I want to trust, Janice. I really want to trust. I want to be there and believe that I can be a conscious creator in my life. But the last time I leaned into trust, everything fell apart. Mm, yeah, I understand that. Sometimes things need to fall apart in order for new to be created. But you got to let that go. You got to let that go and trust again and move into it again. So here's the thing though, is a lot of times that when we are trying to manifest consciously, trying to bring in what we desire, there is a block there that we are not even conscious of. There is something within us that is blocking us from receiving more love. And this has been huge for me in the last 8, 9 months. A really understanding that if we want to manifest more, we need to step up into receiving more high power love. So, how can you bring more of that high power love, that high potent love into you if you've got all this junk in here that is still blocking you, clogging up the pipes, so to speak? Awareness of these blocks is key. And this is what we do in clearing debris through forgiveness, 1 week at a time. And for those of you that have done clearing debris through forgiveness, I would love for you to leave a comment, and also remember that you are welcome to join in again with this round, which is something I offer every time. So every time we go through this program, I allow you to come back. Once you've paid, you come back and we can work go through it again, because I tell you, it is incredibly powerful. Every time I've gone through, there's been one more layer revealed, one more layer revealed. And I have found areas that I have been holding, you know, guilt and shame around, that I didn't even realize I was holding it. It's like, oh my gosh, for the last 10, 20 years, I've been holding this guilt or shame or blame or some sort of pain within me. And I didn't even realize it until just this moment when we were having this conversation. And I didn't realize it because it feels normal. It feels like me. We get so used to holding these energies within us that we don't even realize we are still in that pattern or fear. And so the awareness, the intention to come in and say, I want to clear the channel. I desire to clear out what is holding me back. I desire to clear out what is holding me in pain, in scarcity, in struggle, in unworthiness. Like, I have had enough. I don't know what it is that's blocking me. I don't know why my dreams, my dream life is not coming to me. I want to clear it out. And I'll tell you two things. First of all, is you will become aware of what is blocking you, right? You will become aware of it. And the second thing is, it takes courage to move through that. Sometimes we know what we need to do, but the courage to take the steps, that's a walk. That's a journey. And when you are in circle with us, this it's a 6-week program and we meet every week. And when you are in circle, you will get stronger and you will feel like, okay, I got this. And you know what? Most of the time we move through it with so much grace and support that it's not nearly as terrible as our mind is making us think it is. It's not nearly as difficult as our mind has created because our mind takes fear and blows it up. It blows it up into an expanded version of what we think it's going to be. But then when we actually walk through it, it's like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And here I am on the other side. Oh, this feels so good. This feels so light. So you will then start to live in creation rather than survival. You get to release those old energetic patterns because you recognize you no longer need them. In the video that I shared yesterday, I was sharing how it just feels like my past stories are dissolving, that I am a completely new, revised being, brighter and lighter. There's a lightness of being that I am holding right now. And I'm letting go of those stories and I'm letting them dissolve and I'm letting the fear dissolve around them because the fear of going back holds us back a lot. The fear of, I don't want that to happen again, holds us back from loving again. If we've had a heartbreak, it's the fear of like, I don't want to be hurt like that again. That was like almost more than I could handle. But if we can let it go and let it dissolve and see those stories dissolving, really visualize them dissolving and letting go, then we get to move forward and we get to allow more love in. It could be the love of your life that's waiting for you. It could be becoming a millionaire that's waiting for you. For so long, I've held back because of my bankruptcy story. That in itself had several layers that I needed to release and uncover. And I share them in our 6 weeks together. I share the stories of, you know, the things that I had released from me when I first went through this program. The beautiful awarenesses that came through that said, I don't need to hold on to this anymore. This is not the truth. This is not the truth. What I've been replaying in my mind, the guilt or the shame I was holding around the bankruptcy, that's not the truth. And I was given the truth through a new perspective and through a new awareness that came through me from Source. Beautiful stories of suddenly releasing, and beautiful stories from other people that have walked through this journey. A beautiful story of a mother who in her 50s had a huge pain in her hip, always living with this pain. And as we went through our our weeks together, she realized that where the pain was coming from. It was coming from something that happened to her child that was horrific, and she couldn't protect her child from it. And she held this guilt and this pain within her, in her hip, because we carry our children on our hip. And when she finally released that story and let it go, understanding that our children have a path to walk on their own, and that we cannot protect them forever and from everything, because then they wouldn't grow and learn and experience life, no matter how painful it is. And it can be very painful. But when we can release that responsibility, release the pain and shame and guilt that we hold around our children's experiences, then we release it out of our body. And the pain in her hip disappeared. The next day, it was gone. Like these beautiful stories, when I released pain and shame around something that happened to my child, it was like I purged. I had a 15-minute awareness of how much I had still been holding guilt and shame. And I like started to cry, and it was like I was like purging this. I was like retching, crying this energy out of me. And after 15 minutes came back and got a beautiful download, ex- just an amazing download of love, of being able to shift through and see it through the eyes of love instead of seeing it through the eyes of pain and fear. And I felt such a huge lightness, like a weight had been taken off my shoulders. And I physically lost 5 pounds that week. Our body is holding pain and shame and guilt from things that have happened to us, from things we have experienced that we've done to other people, that we feel we've done to them, from events, circumstances that unfolded, from our past lineage, our ancestors. We are holding this in our bodies, and it is time to release it, time to let it go and release it. This is what we're doing. And so, whether or not we choose to walk this journey of coming through clearing debris through forgiveness, whether or not we choose to do that right now, you will be walking through. You will be walking through it in the next 6 months. Starting now for over like 6 months, you're going to find that more and more things are coming up. And the thing that's so beautiful about clearing debris through forgiveness is you gain the tools to use to help you release it quickly and easily and with grace and more love. And the miracle moment is is when we shift the energy. The miracle moment is a shift of perception from seeing things through the eyes of fear into seen through the eyes of love. And that means more love for you, more love within, instead of beating yourself up, criticizing yourself, shaming yourself. What are the words you say to yourself? I'm such an idiot. Why did I do that? Right? Like, that's not very loving. Would you say that to someone else? No, you wouldn't. We save all that love for other people and we don't give any to ourselves. And this is what clearing debris through forgiveness does, is it helps us bring through more of that high, potent love for ourself, and that love can come in and just dissolve all of those other pains and struggles. And when we do that, when we bring that in and we do that, we actually create more space for more beauty and joy and abundance in our lives. My life on this journey has been incremental steps forward of getting better and better and better. And I'll tell you that in the last 8, 9 months, it's not incremental steps, it's leaps forward now. There is something that has shifted, and I feel so good, so light, and I welcome in new experiences. And whatever it is that you are desiring for you is what's waiting to come through. I could go on and on about this, but I I hope that you've received some of this. Um, the importance of letting these old stories go, letting the fear go, letting the feelings of being a victim go, and moving into the beauty and grace that is waiting for you to expand into. So, what clearing debris through forgiveness looks like is it's 6 weeks. So, week one is about becoming aware, building our awareness of our thoughts and our perceptions, and recognizing our ego. So, week one is a pretty easy one in it. It walks you through the pattern of steps that we're going to take each day. So right now, this whole program that I have is on Teachable, but I am in the process of moving it onto my app so that you can access it very easily and effortlessly. You just download Soulfully Aligned Women, and you'll be able to get your daily little tidbit of gold for the day. So we are also reading the book by Gabby Bernstein called May Cause Miracles. So we're working through this program with Gabby's blessing, as I have been trained by her to give this program, but also that we've tweaked it so that it allows us to be in creative flow as much as we choose. Now, the second week is looking at our perception, our self perception, shifting into a new self perception. The third week, we look at our body image. It's a beautiful week of remembering that we are a soul in this vehicle and that we are not our body. We are not our body. So that one is a powerful week. The fourth week is looking at our relationships with ourself and with others. Uh, week 5 is all about self worth, which is kind of a big question, right? Well, how am I worthy of more love? How do I become more worthy of big love? That is huge, especially for women. But we're going to work through that, and you're going to find more self worth. And this also brings through more abundance, so more money. So that week is all about being worthy of receiving more money, love in the form of money. And week 6 is about bringing miracles into your life, the continual process. So you will know how to do this. And I still, to this day, from the very first time I took this program in 2019, I still use these steps that you will learn in the program to walk me through any resistance that comes up and become more aware of, okay, what was that? What was that? Every time somebody triggers you, I had these ladies that were triggering me big time. I was like, oh, and I was, avoiding them. It was actually a coach, and I was avoiding her because I'm like, oh, but I kept finding myself drawn back in, listening to her stuff, and then I pull away because she'd trigger me. And then finally I sat down one day and went, okay, what is this? Why is she triggering? What is about her that is triggering me? And what I found was it is hi there, Carla. How are you? I know it's you. Thank you. What I found was um, she was so confident. She was so confident. And I wanted to be more confident. And so she was reflecting that back to me, saying, here, this is what you can be like. And I was resisting it because I was like, she's, I'm not there yet. It was a dissonance in energy. And so when I finally uncovered that and went, oh, okay. I think I need this woman in my life. I think I need to learn from her. And so I hired her as a coach. So yeah, it's like we got to look at this stuff, and every day something will come up. Every day you'll find something. The more awareness you bring to it, the more we can clear it out and let it go. Okay, so what you need to do though is you need to have the book. So you need to get the book ordered. You need to be reading the first part. I think it's up to page 26. Yes, it is 20. Yep, 25. Page 25. The first 25 pages. So that on Monday when we begin, it's day one. We got this. We're gonna start. Um, so I'm going to invite you to come and join us in clearing debris through forgiveness, because things are going to be happening in the world around us. The world is rocking, rocking and rolling, and it's going to actually uh, escalate. And not anything to fear. It's just going to allow us, give us more opportunities to deal with what's holding us back from becoming a more enlightened being, instead of being anchored down into this 3D world through our emotions. We're going to be allowing that to go and expanding our emotions into the higher frequencies. And I'll tell you, it is worth it. The higher frequencies will bring in your dreams and desires. And every day is so much fun. So I'm really looking forward to what the world is doing right now, and how we're transitioning and shifting and growing and becoming more enlightened. I think it's very, very exciting. I'm very much looking forward to it. And it's going to be okay. And you need to know that it's going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. So clearing debris through forgiveness will help you walk with more grace and love through it all. I invite you to come and join us. So the link is here in the Soulfully Aligned Women Facebook group. Um, I posted it here. And also, it is in the link tree, in my bio link tree on Instagram. So if you're watching this on Instagram, just go there, come and join us. You only have a little bit of time left to join. What are you waiting for? Oh, and what I'm going to offer you is anyone that joins today, uh, it's going to include a one-on-one call with me. So you get to circle up with me when the time is right for you through the 6 weeks, and we will work through what's coming up for you and release it together, especially if it's something that you're really struggling with. It's nice to have someone else to walk through it with you. So, we have a group already forming. I love you guys. Come and join us. And if you have any other questions, oh, there was a question. Let me just answer this quick about how much time it takes. So, Monday at 10 a.m., we will gather together every Monday at 10 a.m. for the 6 weeks, and it will be about an hour. And then each day, I say you need about, 15, 20 minutes. And if you want to take more, you take more. So you need about maybe 10 minutes in the morning to read the morning prompt and listen to the little video that I give you with a creative prompt. If you so choose, you can take that prompt and do it for the day. Or if you have to run to work, it's like you just listen, absorb it, listen, absorb the symbol that we're using for that day. And then in the evening, 10 minutes to read the evening summary in the book. and that's it. And maybe do some journaling if you so choose. So it's the consistency of that pattern that will build your awareness and awaken you into releasing and dissolving the old stories, the old patterns, the old limiting beliefs, and you will see changes happening all around you. Beautiful changes in abundance, in joy, in feeling of freedom, more happiness, and more loving relationships. So I hope to see you on Monday. Bye for now. And let me know if you have any more questions.